Hey guys, it's Junior. Welcome back to my channel here in Horsepower Warehouse. I'm going to bring you guys back in the shop and show you a couple things that we've got going on back here. So let's dive right into the first topic of today's conversation, which is our 1966 427 car here. As you can see, silver, side pipes, knockoffs, convertible. This car is pretty dang cool. Factory AC. So I was tasked with a mission on this car. Basically, we sold this car. It was a consignment. It is not a full, complete frame-off restoration or what we do back here, but the guy did want to do some updating to it prior to bringing it home. Basically, he said, hey, Junior, if we have a $18,000 or so budget on this car, what can you accomplish? I know it needs a couple of things right off the bat. The fuel smells kind of gnarly on it. It smells like varnish. You can see the engine bay could use some tidying up. It definitely needs a set of tires. The interior, as we look inside, you can see how the carpet is not great at all. The seats are starting to discolor and turn yellow. It is cool that this is a headrest car. But the interior, it just smells like old car as well. You can see how the door panels at the very least could use a dye job. So what could I do with the $18,000 budget on this car? Let me show you guys. Now we're not gonna blow the entire story here today. This is gonna be future content, but let me show you what we've acquired so far. $18,000 gets you, in my shop at least, 48 and a half hours of labor at $125 an hour labor, which, if you ask me, we're really undercutting our competition there, and we're due for an increase. But right now I'm $125 an hour shop rate. You do have to wait in line to get in here, but with 48 and a half hours of labor, we have a set of new tires here. As you can see, they are gold line. These are radials, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bag here. The bag kind of spoils a little bit of the surprise here. You can see we have new headrests to go along with the new seat cover kit. You can see we also have a foam kit here for the seats. So we know at minimum we're doing some interior stuff. But what can I accomplish in 48 and a half hours here? Well, that's a little over a week's time. We're gonna have Ivana spearheading this with me. We'll jump into it. I'll show you guys on the next video what we've accomplished and what we're doing with our 48 and a half hours and, you know, who knows, I think $10,000 or so worth of parts. Game plan is set on this one. We are going to be spearheading the body side of things first and the bird cage, and then we will move on to resetting it onto the street shop chassis and getting everything fitted and ready for the next step of the restoration on this one. So I'm really excited for that car. It's coming out awesome. You'll notice our 67 here is off of the rotisserie on this lift so that we can continue the process. Just continuing fiberglass work. You can see the bird cage is now completely done. Both doors are pretty much ready to be mounted. We have done all the hinges have been rebuilt. So we're continuing the process. Things are looking really good on this one. This car was in the race with that car to be finished, and it's looking like this one might get done first. This beautiful. Really like this Goodwood green 67. Saddle interior looks fantastic. I know you guys have probably been watching me do the restoration on this one. Here, let's carefully open up the hood and see what we can't observe under here. Hopefully what looks to you guys like a beautiful restored Corvette, because that's what I'm going for. Borgeson power steering, power brakes, just a correctly built 350 horse. Man, beauty is in the details, I guess, in this case, or that's what I would consider. Man, it takes a village to do something like this, guys. It's not just one gifted individual. It's an entire team of gifted individuals. I just happen to be the guy behind the camera in this case, but man, I'm so proud of my entire team for knocking it out of the park on this one. We're doing great back here. And speaking of doing great, here's another one that you guys haven't seen yet. This is our saddle split window, back from paint. I've done enough videos at this point where I peacock around the car and I tell you guys how great we are and I pat myself on the back and so on and so forth. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to, you know, reveal to you yet another beautifully painted car here. This thing is coming out absolutely spectacular. You can see how on the inside we have already begun with the sound deadening. We have complete sound deadening on the inside. We've already begun the insulation at the firewall. So man, this car is absolutely spectacular. This gentleman, when he provided this car to me, also provided a parts lot that was like Christmas. I will restore as many of this guy's cars as he wants, as long as he provides me a parts lot that's like that. I don't care what it is. I mean, I will do his John Deere lawnmower if he wants to provide me a parts lot like that, because by golly, it was like a gift. He spent, I think, a year and a half just assembling parts and scouring for these things. And it saved me so much work and labor just on the computer itself. I think this restoration, he saved, I'm not gonna say how much money, but he saved quite a bit just paying me $125 an hour on computer versus doing it himself. I mean, he did a lot of hard work, and I'm very grateful for that. So it's coming out great. This is the Art Morrison chassis that is now out of the box. We've fully uncrated it. I'm in the future going to do content and show you guys what it takes to get this chassis underneath a split window. We have a blue split window over there on the other side of the wall that is just anxiously awaiting this chassis. So the Morrison chassis is a little bit different in the approach versus roadster shop or street shop. They all have their different intricacies. So I'm going to show you guys, what it takes to do that. All right, so before we drop this video off, I want to bring you guys 9 hours into the future. This is the next morning. Show you guys where we're at right now with the project. We've basically got the entire interior of the car disassembled, completely gutted, ready for carpet kit, ready for insulation. Wheels and tires are off. You can see the engine. We've done a little bit of disassembly work here. We're preparing to do a complete repaint of the engine. What you can't see is we've drained the coolant, we've drained the fuel, we have completely decontaminated and steam pressure washed the bottom of this car. We use different detergents and different degreasers based on what area of the car. For instance, you don't want to put something caustic on an anodized piece. You have to use caution through the whole process, but you can see where we are right now in the disassembly of the engine bay. I've got the carburetor off. It's sitting on the bench over here, ready for a complete rebuild. You can see the lion's share of the parts are all here on the table. It absolutely blows me away how little $10,000 gets you guys these days. I started doing this quite a few years ago, and it seems like the parts cost has just absolutely skyrocketed the last 10 years. It blows me away. One of you guys have been sending me tracksuits as well. 2 Horsepower Warehouse to my personal home address. I appreciate it. Not necessarily necessary. Everyone is getting a big kick out of it here at the shop, but yeah, if you're the person who is sending me tracksuits to Horsepower Warehouse, I appreciate whatever you're going for, but not necessary. These, I am a hoarder, right? So these are NOS exhaust bezels. They were actually installed on the green 67 there, but this box has actually been kicking around. Here's a 1975 date. J. Anderson on card, and 9/28 of 1973. It just crushes me to take a box that's been sitting around for this many years and just toss it in the garbage, but this is the struggles that I go through. Is I have these NOS bezels, which by the way look fantastic on the back of that green car, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll bring you over. We're talking about these guys down here. They look fantastic. and they've been sitting around since the 60s. Also, since we're on the topic of parts costs, I have this laid out for you guys as well. Take a look at this table. These are all parts that are going to be affixed to the bottom of this black 427 coupe. How much money do you think is sitting here? I know it does not look like a lot of money if you just look at the amount of parts sitting here and you know how basic a lot of this stuff is, you know, latches and brackets and things of that nature. $1,417.89 is on this table. It absolutely blows me away how much it takes to build a car just in parts cost. That's why earlier in the video I was talking about how grateful I am for that guy with his parts package, because man, he had to have given me $100,000 worth of parts in today's prices. So again, that was awesome. So anyhow, we're gonna pick back up next video. We'll see how far we get. We're about 9 hours into this build. We'll see what we can accomplish. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, take care.